WTV, Philadelphia.
A couple opens a dream country hideaway, but when their first customers check in, so does sheer terror.
Don't move at all. I'll shoot you. I'll kill you. I'll kill your family if you try anything.
Drug-crazed fugitives take them on a 3-day journey through the back roads of evil.
Not had me get in the back of the van, climb over the seat, and again rape me.
Hotel Hell.
These are not helicopters, and these are not airplanes.
It was probably where a UFO hovered at very low range.
They could be visitors from another planet, and now they've had a close encounter with a lawman.
I don't know why they would be here or why that we'd be the ones that are seeing them, but I'm not the only one seeing them, see.
Take me to your sheriff.
Are you two alike in every way?
Not exactly. One of us has a strawberry birthday.
These sexy sisters were playmates to a millionaire, but when they didn't tell the tax man about his love tokens, Uncle Sam tossed them in jail.
All I ever wanted to do was pay my taxes.
Now it's Freedom Day, as the sisters declare no nude taxes.
Bikini, bikini.
Plus a sneak preview of A Bikini Affair. Hello, everyone. I'm Maureen O'Boyle. Welcome to A Current Affair. Kathy and Paul Plunk wanted a peaceful life at their quiet country inn, but nothing prepared them for their first guests and the terror that followed. Their story is being turned into a TV movie, but David Lee Miller has the real-life people behind Hotel Hell.
We'd had our house robbed 2 times in Tucson. Never in New York for some reason, but in Tucson 2 times we had it.
Kathy and Paul Plunk were tired of the crime and stress of city life and decided to do something about it. They left their 9-to-5 lives behind to search for a simpler life, and they knew just the place to find it. A little town called Yachats on the Oregon coast, where they had spent their honeymoon 7 years earlier.
We moved up here to have an easier lifestyle, a country type lifestyle to raise children.
Their dream was complete when they raised enough money to buy the romantic Yachats Inn, the very place they stayed as newlyweds, a haven for their 2-year-old daughter, where the closest thing to violence was the surf crashing against the shore, or so they thought.
We closed on Monday, that was January 18th, and then on Wednesday our furniture came up, and Thursday is when these fellows, our first customers, checked in.
The Yachats Inn was open for business. The 2 men took their best room with a spectacular ocean view. And although excited about their first paying customers, the Plunks felt something wasn't right.
I was a little suspicious of them. No particular suspicion other than that just seemed odd to me that they were kind of a strange pair.
But what the Plunks didn't know was that their guests were Jeffrey Frost and Robert Knott, 2 fugitives from Wisconsin on a nationwide crime spree. They found out while Paul was in town and Kathy was watching the inn.
He pulled out his gun and he said, "We're holding you up." And he basically held it for a good part of the time pretty near my head.
Desperate and needing money, the fugitives were not happy about the measly $100 they found in the register.
Knott commanded Frost to stay by the window and watch with a gun and watch out for anybody who would come. And then Knott told me to take my clothes off.
Katie, the Plunk's 2-year-old daughter, was in the very same room.
She'd kind of whimper and she knew something was wrong, but she was really very, very good. And so then Knott proceeded to rape me, and then he told Frost asked if he wanted to turn, and Frost didn't.
I didn't get back until about 9:30 or 10 o'clock that night, and that's when I walked into the whole mess.
The inn was empty, except for the Plunks and their captors. They forced Paul to turn on the no vacancy sign.
Knott jumped me from behind and threw me down on the bed, all the while telling me not to move. Don't move at all. I'll shoot you. I'll kill you. I'll kill your family if you try anything.
The romantic inn of their dreams had turned into a prison, and the the family became amusement for the drug-crazed pair.
Frost gave the gun to Knott, and Knott started to play with it, and at that point he took all the bullets out of it except one and spun the cylinder and pointed it to my head and pulled the trigger.
Over the course of the next 3 days, Russian roulette and other horrors would prove to be Robert Knott's favorite pastime.
No conscience at all. He would just as soon killed anyone that got in his way any time.
Kathy and Paul soon realized that their only chance for survival was appealing to Jeffrey Frost, who seemed more civilized than his vicious partner.
He was certainly the more humanistic of the two, and I felt just more of a rapport with him fairly early on. I mean, he was nice to me.
Frost and Knott had a plan. They would take the family with them as hostages. Paul, Kathy, and 2-year-old Katie were loaded in the van. First stop, the couple's bank, where they would be forced to withdraw thousands of dollars. Their fate was uncertain from there.
We started north. At some point there, Knott had me get in the back of the van, climb over the seat, and again rape me. And then he did this about, 2 or 3 times during our trip up.
Paul was in the front seat, his hands and feet bound. It had been 2 days in those ropes when it looked like they might be rescued.
We were traveling on I-5 north of Portland, and this policeman pulled in behind us. They had repeatedly said over the time they would not be caught and they would not be taken alive.
You ready?
Knott told Frost, do your job, get in the back, do what you're supposed to do. And he was sitting there with a gun pointed toward the police car.
The police car just passed them on the highway, and they were starting to lose hope. Meanwhile, back at the inn, the Plunks were expecting dinner guests, their new next-door neighbors.
We went over, the place was all dark. I mean, there were no lights on anywhere.
I said, something has happened, and I think I'll call the police.
And the officer mentioned to me, he says, this doesn't look good at all.
The officer was right. The Plunk family was on a 3-day ride through hell, but at least the police were now looking.
Knott said, let's just kill him and get it over with, you know. We've got to get it over with. And Frost said, well, we don't necessarily have to kill him. Let's take Pops up to into the mountains and drop him off someplace, and then we'll take the wife and kid on, and we'll let them out in the motel. We'll tie him up in the motel and leave him someplace.
Their plan to befriend Jeffrey Frost had worked. He was now pleading for their life, and Paul would be dropped off somewhere in the mountains.
I thought when they told me to start walking, I expected to be shot in the back. I mean, that was what I expected to happen. And then I heard the van start.
Paul watched as Kathy and Katie drove off to uncertainty. What he didn't know was that Knott had changed his mind.
They were trying to find him, and I was so glad that they didn't, because I too felt that once they let him go, that they would most likely at some point let us go.
Paul walked through the night, but finally made it to help. Driving in the police car, he could hear on the radio that authorities had spotted the kidnapper's van.
I made the guy get on the phone, made the deputy get on the radio and say, don't shoot, that my wife and child are in the car.
After eluding authorities, Knott stopped the van, knowing police were closing in. He ran to the woods, leaving Frost behind. Frost panicked and ran into the woods to join his friend. Kathy and Katie were finally free. But the kidnappers were busy, looking for their next victims.
That was the happiest day of my life, I can tell you. It was the very happiest day that I ever had in my life, was to meet Kathy again and Katie in the police station.
The Plunks were lucky. The next hostages they took, not so lucky. Frost and Knott were ambushed by the FBI, and one of their captives, a young woman, Dana Bridges, was killed in the crossfire. Frost was also killed, and Knott, although critically injured, was able to be saved.
Only wish that they had both been killed. I would have shot him, yes, if I had got the opportunity.
Robert Knott was sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole for kidnapping, and the Plunks returned to the Yachats Inn to take back their dream.
For a while, I was scared of my own shadow. You know, if you keep thinking about this and let this guy have control of you, it's just like you're tied up in the van and he's still got control of your life.
I feel very, very bad when women will say that something is, say a rape has ruined their life, and I think, gee, if they're still alive, wow. To me, that's what's important, and to go on from there.
The no vacancy sign is on again. Only this time, the Yacht's Inn is filled with guests.
We're where we want to be. You know, this is where we're supposed to be.
The movie based on the Plunk's terrifying ordeal will be aired on ABC in mid-October. Coming up next, the sheriff whose close encounter is causing an uproar. His camera caught a UFO, and now someone wants him to hide his cosmic capture.
I've had a whole lot of harassment from folks of this nature. Whether they are government-affiliated people or not, I don't know.
We've got what the government may not want you to see. And later, a big win for the tantalizing twins who starred in a twisted tale of sex and money.
They come from Russia, Germany, Nicaragua. Meet the fresh new foreign faces here to make it modeling, only on Entertainment Tonight.
Tonight at 7. The next evening magazine, Pat Cherokee is assigned to the Blue Angels.
My heart is racing.
Steep climbs, hairpin turns, formation flying. Will Pat complete her mission and dare to fly with the incredible Blue Angels? Find out tonight at 7:30.
The top brands in designer hosiery at department stores $7, now at Ross $3. A traditional rugby shirt at specialty stores $48, now at Ross $19. An elegant jacket and print skirt at leading department stores $108, now at Ross $63. At Ross every day, the only difference is the price.
Your horoscope says a more colorful year will emerge this fall.
Announcing Fava's looking forward to fall sale. Be the first in all the latest fall suede, the latest fall shades, the latest fall looks, at the lowest fall prices.
While seeking the perfect match, you'll meet a most compatible sign.
It's Fava's looking forward to fall sale.
I love having something to look forward to.
You'll go far in Fava.
Presenting Tulip.
Mommy, can we paint a bright running star?
Well, sure, honey. It's easy.
With Tulip at your fingertips, there's nothing you can't do.
Tulip is the paint uniquely formulated for decorating fabric.
Try the glitter.
This is fun.
Tulip Color Fast Paints. Available in leading craft, discount, and fabric stores.
Look, Mommy, I'm a star.
We all are.
There's nothing you can't do.
Larry Thurman is a lawman who was looking for drug smugglers, but when he turned his video camera to the skies, he caught something else. Some say they were creatures from outer space coming to Earth and demanding, "Take me to your sheriff." As dusk settles in the foothills of the Tennessee Smokies, when the cows turn out to graze and the moon rises high in the skies, keep your eyes on the darkening horizon. You never know what might fly by, even if you see it yourself.
So, about 3 times the size of a star or something. And it'll hover in one place, and it can drop out of sight in just a matter of seconds.
I know, what a helicopter looks like. But these are not helicopters, and these are not airplanes. These are, one was a disc-shaped object, and the other was looked like a donut. One of us had a dip out of the top and on the bottom donut type. I don't know what that is right there, but it's a spinning around and around.
Whatever Larry Thurman captured on videotape can certainly be called an unidentified flying object. But as a deputy sheriff, Larry needs harder evidence, like little green men, before he'll tell you it's from outer space. Dr. Stephen Greer, on the other hand, can be a little more candid. A physician by trade, Dr. Greer also runs the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence.
I think that is a significant case, a case of what we call a world-class UFO case. There were not any humanoids or anything spectacular like that spotted, but certainly the craft itself that have been filmed, the lights that have been filmed by Mr. Thurman and have been seen by others, is quite unusual.
I wish I did know it was a spacecraft from outer space. I'd like to be able to tell the world that's what it is. Or I would like to know it's something that our U.S. government's got up there testing. I'd like to know that. Then I would be able to tell the world that's what it is. But at this point, I have no idea what I took a picture of, but I do know it was there.
The stellar performance was actually captured quite unexpectedly. Officer Thurman had been trying to identify a twin-engine plane he suspected of dropping drugs in the area. Now he has a bigger case to crack, with more celestial evidence than one deputy can handle. 2 months after Larry's sighting, an unexplained circle similar to those found in England appeared in a field on a neighbor's farm.
We think in all likelihood it was probably where a UFO hovered at very low range, in other words, within 3 to 10 feet above that spot.
I don't know why they would be here or why that we'd be the ones that are seeing them, you know. But if I was the only one seeing them, I'd go to some kind of a head doctor and find out what my problem was. But I'm not the only one seeing them, see.
Larry's cosmic experience seems to have captured the attention of the U.S. government. Shortly after he made the tape, Larry began seeing mysterious cars with government plates parked at the foot of his driveway and unmarked black helicopters with spotlights circling above his property. Larry has also had his house broken into. It was ransacked, but nothing was stolen, which leaves him wondering which is more threatening, visitors from another world or our own.
I've had a whole lot of harassment from folks of this nature. Whether they are government-affiliated people or not, I don't know. I've had people to offer to buy the tape from me, and I've had people to offer me money to forget that I even took the picture.
The harassment from who knows where hasn't deterred Larry's curiosity about you-know-what, but he does need a little more convincing.
If I see one, these little gray men they're talking about, then, you know, then I will give you another story and say, well, I did see them. Until I do, I'll just say, well, I don't know whether they exist or not.
Larry, call us if you see the green Martians. Now, still ahead, the nude models who are finally home free. It's a happy ending for the sexy sisters who went to the slammer for keeping secrets from the tax man. And we'll have a way to win big, a bikini contest you can enter.
It starts with itch and irritation, and then hemorrhoid flare-up. For soothing, cooling relief on contact, get Tux medicated pads. Tux pads, the one hospitals trust most. Sugar-free Dentine. We'll take care of your breath. The rest is up to you.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Mom, I spilled grape juice on the carpet.
That's okay. You must have stain-resistant carpet.
She uses Resolve Carpet Cleaner with DuPont Teflon. With Resolve, even grape juice comes out easily. For tough carpet stains,
Mom, that's okay.
get Resolve with Teflon. And for cleaning your whole carpet, there's Resolve Foam Carpet Cleaner.
Beautiful.
For your whole carpet, get Resolve Foam.
This used to fit me. Joining Weight Watchers and losing weight, it's like a rebirth. So it's that powerful feeling. Nobody can give that to you. Nobody can. You can. There's things that we can change about our lives and a lot of things we can't change. But we can absolutely change our weight. Absolutely.
Weight Watchers. You've got it in you to get it off you.
Pay only $10. That's free registration when you join Weight Watchers by September 28th. So join Weight Watchers now.
Hurry to your Toyota dealers right away because year-end clearance prices are really dropping. Toyota Corolla, you can get a value pack Corolla starting under $10,000. Right now, you can get factory-to-dealer incentives on Corolla and special option package savings for huge savings that really add up, plus additional dealer discounts which may save you even more. Hurry to your Toyota dealer for the big year-end clearance. It's the one you've been watching out for.
I remember Friday night dinners at Grandmom's. I was 5, maybe 6. When I was older, they were at Mom's house. It was the best part of the week. We had such a great time. A lot of love in that room. A lot of love. We still have Friday night dinners, but now they're at my house.
Start a new tradition at a John B. Canuso home.
They posed for Playboy, but when these sexy sisters appeared before a judge, they got a verbal undressing and jail sentences for tax evasion. Now another court says Uncle Sam was out of line. The decision? No nude taxes.
I just don't know what I've ever done wrong. I mean, all I ever wanted to do was pay my taxes. Really, all I ever wanted to do.
Former Playboy model Lynette Harris in an exclusive interview with the Current Affairs' Mike Watkiss at the height of a bizarre sex-for-hire scandal. Lynette and her twin sister Leanne were sexy siblings who frolicked across the pages of Playboy and into 2 movies.
Are you two alike in every way?
Not exactly. One of us has a strawberry birthmark.
No. Which one?
Oh, I can't see it. I just have to go on other people's word.
But then the twins won double billing in another kind of fantasy. The pair became playmates of an octogenarian multi-millionaire, David Kritzik. They were showered with gifts and money, and in Lynette's case, love.
He used to call me his girlfriend. And he just, like normal people have relationships. We had a relationship.
But Kritzik wasn't the only white-haired old man taking a peek at the twins. After Kritzik's death at age 89, the plot of one of the twins' low-budget fantasies became big bucks reality. The IRS closed in, charging they had been Kritzik's prostitutes and failed to pay taxes on their pay-for-play fortune of $1 million. Both women went to jail.
To us, it's considered a tax case. It was a case that was investigated by the IRS, and it's, to us, as I say, simply a tax case.
What are we going to do if they take away our house, huh?
But there was more to it than that. Lynette had run afoul of the Kritzik estate and filed a palimony suit, and the estate provided evidence the twins' relationship with the old man had been strictly business.
Are you afraid?
Yes, I am. But I know in my heart I'm right, and I will fight.
Now the fighting is over. Both women have been freed and their convictions overturned. But their attorney says the case has left them bitter.
The public ridicule she had to undergo, the incarceration, the indignities, they're not compensable.
Both women say they want to get their careers back on track. Now, getting on the fast track to fame and fortune, summer may be over, but you can follow the sun at A Bikini Affair.
Bikini, 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 bikini.
Bikini watching. It may not be a sport, but there are plenty of spectators. Wherever women follow the sun, there's sure to be a bikini contest. A Current Affair will put a different spin on one of America's favorite activities, and you, the viewers, can participate. A Current Affair will hold A Bikini Affair on September 16th at Penrod's Beach Club in Miami Beach, Florida. So if you look very good in very little, be at Penrod's around noon on the 16th. Now, why enter a bikini contest?
Exposure. I love exposure. It's going to give me more exposure.
We're talking exposure to the max. 8 finalists will be featured on A Current Affair, and our viewer poll will pick the hottest male and female winners. But that's not all. A Bikini Affair winners will be entered into the national pay-per-view program, The Bikini Open. For more details, call 1-900-420-5551. Each call costs 75 cents per minute. You must be 18 or over to enter. Remember, there is still time to get in shape before the 16th. We'll be right back.
Oh my God. Think about your daydreams and what you would do if you won 10 million out of the blue. Imagine the bell rings, the winner is you. house where dreams come true.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
The only protection for us,
New Ara XX Sports Scent.
it's the only leading sports solid that doesn't leave a white flaky mess.
New Ara XX Sports Scent helps keep us extra
dry.
Sometimes I don't want it all, but I've got it. So when I'm irregular, I take Correctol, the woman's gentle laxative that works overnight. You know, sometimes I need to be taken care of, too. Correctol, the gentle laxative more women prefer.
Oh, Mandy to the rescue, for the look that's you. What you gonna do? Mandy to the rescue.
It felt right. I just had to trust my instincts. By the time I realized there was no turning back, I didn't want to.
United Way provides food for the hungry, shelter for the homeless. They help so many people in so many ways, but to continue, they need our help, now more than ever. If you'd like to start a United Way campaign at your workplace, call 665-GIVE. United Way. It brings out the best in all of us.
A jailhouse friendship ignites a fiery scandal.
Police say this is America's first female serial killer.
We're dealing with violence, extreme violence.
And a total monster who murdered at least 5 men.
She's a scum of the earth.
But a complete stranger has become her best friend, obsessively writing and visiting the accused murderess.
I think she's a really neat lady.
Buddy behind bars.
Oh, that story and much more tomorrow on A Current Affair. Thanks for being with us, everyone. Good night.
Oh, I can't see it. I just have to go in other people's world.